album is out. It's not you, it's me. Man, excited. Want to know how people like it. I think it's dope. You know what I mean? I think it's uh, with the foundation of the culture, like what hip hop music is about. That's what I think. I'm like when I was working on it, man, I was just super excited, and I was like, man, this is what I always wanted to do. I always wanted to do, a hip hop like album. I've always done hip hop albums. Don't get me wrong, but it's something about this one just felt like I was working with like Premier. You know what I mean? Like Murder Megs is like I think she's the future of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So I think her, JP the producer. I think man, they beats are incredible, man. Like they keep the hip hop, fresh. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, I'm excited to see what the response is gonna be. So far good. It's only been out a couple hours, but yeah, man. Making the album, um, it's funny because I had no plans on working on no new material at all. I was actually on the phone with one of my producers, nothing less, and we were talking, and we started talking about some music, and I just was like, man, I'm not thinking about it right now. And I had said to him, like, but knowing me, I'll probably have a project done, you know, tomorrow. And I laughed about it, but ironically, the idea sparked like that next day. But it really was like a couple of things that kind of made me want to, well, made me think about, doing another project. And I was thinking like, man, I'll just probably do something in the summer if I'm gonna do something. If not, I ain't worried about it. But it started with the homie A-Ron. We wanted to do something. And I was like, okay, wait, give me some time. And then on top of that, I start seeing, I follow Murder Megs and JP the producer, so I kept, commenting on JP the producer, on her Instagram, telling her like, yo, you and Murder Megs need to do a joint with somebody. I was hoping like they could do something like Elzai or something like that or Bad Seed. And I was like, yo, y'all need to. And she was like, yeah, it's coming, it's coming. So, and then Bad Seed had said something on Facebook like, who y'all want to see me work with, and I was like, man, you need to do a joint with. I mentioned some rappers, but then I was like, you need to do a joint with Murder Megs, man, or JP the producer. So I was already putting that out there, and make a long story short, I don't know, it just came to me like, let me just try. But I knew Murder Meg, she had, she's a part of Six Man. Shout out to them, and that's her crew. So I'm like, I didn't want to like step on no toes, but you know what I mean, because I know how that is, like when you have a team. So I'm like, well, I just asked her. We already worked together on my Kevin album that came out in September, and she was cool. She was down with it. So I was like, kind of nervous, like, man, that's what I'm gonna do, So once I lock in though. You know what I mean? And then like, life be lifing, as they say, and things been going on. So it's like music has been really therapy for me, dealing with what's going on with my mother. A lot of people don't really know, but my mother, health has been in question, and for going on 2 years, and it's been a constant battle of nursing homes, hospitals, and then on top of that, fighting with my job about it, and not really, nobody's really kind of on the same accord with what we should do. Talking about as far as my siblings, we're not beefing or nothing, but it's a lot going on. So it's been a lot weighing on me, because my mother's, that's my rock. So it's like, it was always me and my mom coming up. So it's been really a tough year for me. Man, really bad. A lot of people have no idea how hard it's been for me. But music has been like a crutch. It's been helping me. and just making music. You know, when me and Me's lock in, Me's kind of going through something similar, and we kind of, you know, I don't want to say trauma bond, but we kind of help each other. So like our recording sessions, we just lock in and we just go. Music has been very therapeutic, and I think music is very therapeutic for a lot of artists, to be honest with you. But so when me and Megs was you know, talking about the project, and I was telling her ideas, I was just at work and coming up with ideas, freestyling, coming up with hooks, and you know, and I listen to Sirius XM, and I listen to, what is it, The Groove. So I listen to, my wife hates that too. She doesn't hate it, but she's like, can we listen to something else sometimes? Because it's all like 80s and like early 80s, early 90s like music. You know what I'm saying? So, and like I've been listening to a lot of stuff, so it just, that kind of helped me create it, because it was so nostalgia to hear a lot of these songs that remind me of my childhood. So, yeah, so I was doing like 3 songs a session. You know, as soon as Meg send the track over, I'm in the studio. You know what I mean? I'm like booking it. And I have like 2 off days, so it's like, let's go. And shout out to Lauren Nicole, because, you know, for like 14 years, me and her been, you know, working on music, and every time I call her, she right there. You know, she there. She like, boom, what you need? Like, let's go. You know what I mean? She's in the studio with me and we rocking out. And I appreciate that. So, you know, I think I started the album. I wanted to remake Trash. Now I did Trash on a previous project. And I think Cap vs. Everybody. Yeah, Cap vs. Everybody. No, Everybody Hates Cap. I think it was on that one. But anyways, so make a long story short, we went to the studio, and when I did that, I did Trash, I did The List, and I did Big Name Worldwide. Those was my first 3, and fire. I immediately sent those over to Megs, and she loved them. I didn't send Big Name because it wasn't done. I still wanted to put Lauren on there, because the hook kind of had like, it didn't sound right with just me. It sounded like it needed Lauren. And like I heard like a lot of the songs I catered it around that, like, you need to have Lauren's voice on this song, you know. So anyways, but those 3 started the album. Like, I always like to start an album what I feel like is my toughest joint, to kind of give you the confidence to even keep going. And that's what I did. Like I was like, okay. When I did Trash and I wrote the hook, and the hook was crazy, I remember being at work and I was just like, you know, hey mister, don't forget your trash. I was just like, oh, that's gonna sound crazy. I'm like, Mees, you gotta be a part of this, you know. Mees did it. Shout out to Mees. Yeah, so you know, the writing process with all of this was just basically like, just, you know, the type of job I do without telling what I do. You know, it's a lot of kind of quiet, you know what I mean? So I get a chance to think. And while I'm thinking, I'm just coming up with ideas. No music around, it's just quiet and customers and people asking questions. But I zone out and I just kind of just lock in. So a lot of times people be like, yo, you work fast. And I do work fast, but the thing is, it's not necessarily that I work fast, it's just I lock in and I know what I want. So like I'll sit, like even with the project, like there was a lot of tracks that, you know, Murder Megs had that I was like listening to, and I was just thinking to myself, I was like, well, I'm thinking about it, I'm coming up with hooks, coming up with ideas. I remember I sat with No Time to Waste for a minute, like, and I wasn't even going to the studio. I just was telling me, he's like, yo, I'm about to work on this album, but I was just kind of like putting everything together and also deciding how much I really want to do it, because I really like to lock in when I do it. When I'm in it, when I'm saying I'm gonna do something, I do it. So anyways, I set with the project, and when I lock in, I lock in. And then when I lock in, I like to go. Like, so it's not like I'm at the level where you can just call somebody, go into the studio. But me, I'm like, the times I can get in, I want to get in. And I don't like I always use the term, I like to be a pest for my success. So, because you just don't know what can happen. Like, I don't like to start nothing and next thing you know, something may happen and you can't get into the studio or you can't do what you normally do. Something happens and it prevents you from getting the project done. Case in point, like I started working on a project and then the pandemic happened. They shut down the studio. And when that happened, I was like, dang, so I had to just kind of stick with what I had, and we didn't know what the world was gonna do. But I had just started this project and really couldn't finish it, and I was like, yeah, it was kind of that sucked. So I like to, like, you know what I mean? I like to have a plan A, plan B, just in case anything happens. You just never know, life happens. So, but when I work, I do work fast. And I'm a man of my word. So I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. I might not do it in the time frame you might be expecting, but I'm gonna do it. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. So anyways, that's what I did with this project. I just went in, locked in every time I could get in on my off days. Spent like 3 hours, 4 hours. And then I practice at home. I practice in my room. I practice in my head. Like, that's just how I do. Whenever I'm studying something, I practice and I see it first. You know what I'm saying? I see it and I just practice it all day. So by the time I get to the session, I'll be prepared. It won't be a lot of punch ins. It may be a few, but for the most part, it's like, a song for me, especially just a 32 bar, 8 bar hook. That takes me probably 10 minutes. Yeah, they take me like 10 minutes. Don't take me long at all. I mean, I'm not singing, so I already got the hook. I've already practiced it. Like, I done put at least every song, I done put like 12 hours of practice into it. You know what I mean? Just going over that song, making sure it's right, changing, rewriting lyrics, all that song. That I shouldn't say this. But anyways, yeah. When we started recording it, and I got to the middle of the album, I was like, oh yeah, this is something special. This is really, really gonna be crazy. And it was kind of bittersweet because in the same breath, it was a distraction for what was going on in my life, even to this day. Man, I was like, oh man. So when I was done, I was like, I don't want to, you don't want to keep going and mess up some stuff. You got it right. It's perfect. It's like, all right, cool. This is where I want. I didn't want it to be a preachy project. Like I can't help it because sometimes I got substance, a lot of stuff I want to talk about, things I want to address. And I think when I did Kevin was like an album, like my bio, so it was very artsy. And I think it's a masterpiece, right? But this album, I wanted to have fun, but I also had a little chip on my shoulder. You know what I mean? I kind of came in with a battle mentality, like, well, nobody mentions me. Nobody say, like, when they talk about dating rappers or whatever, they don't really mention me. And I've been doing this so long. I mean, my first project came out in 2001. I've been rapping since 92. I became a recording artist in 98. And I was a writer, so all my stuff and my first contract and everything was to be a writer. But I've always wanted to be a rapper, so I've always been a little bit doing stuff in the industry on the underground level. And I've been doing this for years, years. So what I'm gonna say, I've been recording music since 98. So you talking about 26 years. I've been performing since 98. You know what I'm saying? So, auditioning for Apollo, going to college. I used to perform every week. So, I've been doing this so long, and I know what I want. I know what I want to do when I step in and I go in the booth. But like I said, it was a good distraction for me. So it was bittersweet that it was, I was pretty much done. And I'm like, because I was going to drop it in the summer. But for me, things change, you don't know. So I like to strike when the iron is hot. So I'm like, all right, forget it. So I'm going to drop it April 29th. I had a couple of dates. I was thinking about dropping it. I think I was going to think about dropping it like May 23rd, or I don't know. Like I was thinking about dropping it like May, um, or April 29th. But anyways, I dropped April 29th. Now April 29th, which is today. Um, the reason why I dropped April 29th because 32 years ago they had the LA riots. Okay. Now with the LA riots, um, that was the interesting time for me as an 11-year-old kid being from Dayton, Ohio, and seeing the riots. The first time I wasn't there personally, but it was always on the news. You know, first you see the thing what happened with Rodney King, but it just kind of lets you know. It was like, man, let you know, like, dang, this is we gotta deal with this type of stuff. Excuse me. We really got to deal with this type of mistreatment and racism. But when I saw the reaction, my people in LA, and they were fed up, man. I remember that just had such an impact on me, when it was like a peace treaty, and people were coming together. It was just a lot. So I just felt like that changed the world a little bit. I really do. I feel like that really changed the world, and it really changed me. Even at 11, it just kind of opened my eyes to a lot. And it was like, man, it was a lot that was going on, and the people were fed up. What happened with Natasha Harlan, and the way that the judge did what they did. So you can just tell it was like a lot brewing. And I'm a young person, so I don't really know like that. But I just remember feeling like, man, that's crazy. Now, fast forward to when I was like 16 or 17, I remember I got into an altercation, and I had put, if you ever heard the song, The Book of Himothy, I kind of talk about it, but I kind of like summed it down. It's only had a little bit of time. But it was a situation where a homie of mine had robbed somebody. I didn't know he robbed them. We were at the mall. The guy he robbed and his cousin saw my homie, and rightfully so, was about to, try to tighten him up. I didn't know this. This is my homeboy from the hood. So I'm in McDonald's line trying to eat some food. I'm like 17. So I'm not letting that. He just come to me like, yo, we about to fight. I'm like, bro, yeah, whatever. I'm thinking he talking about me and him about to fight, because he was goofy like that, being kids. So, make a long story short, him and this dude square up. I'm like, oh shoot. But he said we about to fight. So I'm like, what do you mean we though? Because you about to fight, dude. I'm not gonna jump in. I'll let you, get your fade in, get the one-on-one. Some guy come in, so the mall, Salem Mall at the time had like McDonald's, and it was like this little hallway where the bathroom was, and there was another little little area. So he was coming from that little hallway area, and I seen him like had this like look like he was about to swing. So I just came like, like straight with the hook. I caught him with the hook. He didn't even see it coming. Split him. So I rushed him. Just bah, 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 bah. Cop comes behind me, put me in the chokehold, no Miranda, nothing. He just right on my throat. Now, I used to take martial arts. I've been studying martial arts for a long time, my whole life, really. But I had, I remember, certain moves. And so he had me up a little bit. I'm like, this dude's strong. I'm about to lose this one. So the instinct kicked in. I just put my arm right where his arm is, like put my back right in his belly and flipped. I flipped him. It was a cop. Oh shoot. So anyways, they like 10 Trotwood police bum rushed me, pepper sprayed me. They just kept hitting me in my stomach, but they wouldn't hit me in my face. And I remember everybody surrounded around, and that just reminded me of like the riots, because everybody was like surrounding the whole situation. And I was joking back as I was a kid. I was just trying to get a cheeseburger or something stupid. And they just drugged me to this little room. But my whole point of saying that, I thought to myself, I said, oh, snap. Especially knowing what's happening later on in life, how they was killing people for less than nothing. I mean, I slammed the cop. People died for just talking. You understand what I'm saying? And I physically did, and I'm like, man, I thank God I'm here. But as my point is, I think at that particular time, they were a little hesitant because it was a crowd. And, with the LA riots, I just feel like people probably, didn't want to do nothing that crazy because we were different. So the reason why I dropped the album on that date is because I wanted to bring that to the project a little bit. If you even look at the cover, it's like the world is a riot going on and I'm just making music, or the world is going crazy and I'm making music. So like to me, a riot represents change, represents, I've had enough. You know what I mean? So that's what this album to me is. It's a double entendre. It's not you, it's me. Can be like I'm holding myself accountable. You know what I mean? Like sometimes let everybody know I'm thinking like, this might be my last project. So it's kind of like I might be breaking up with the game, whatever, leaving the game. Then you have the it's not you, it's me, arrogant rapper. Like you ain't the dude, I'm the dude. You know what I'm saying? So, but I didn't really want to make this a preachy album, even though I got songs like that, man, and I just love it. I think that's just that's a song that's needed. I just wanted to make an MC rapper joint. I just had a lot of fun just rapping and mentioning stuff on there. Like, people, I love the rap in a way to make people want to like rewind what he said, like rewind what I said and be like, yo, I didn't catch that. Then it takes some time, you know what I'm saying? It's like a line on there where I talk about protect our sisters. Like you sucker punch, you suckers get sucker punched like Satin Struthers with no sticks. Protect our sisters and let them sparkle. Right? It's the Don, sticks, Satin Struthers. You remember? So sticks beat up Satin Struthers for beating up sisters in the movie Sparkle. You know what I mean? I did a lot of movie. You dead on the mic like you Rippity Smalls. Dead Mike. Alan Payne on CB4. You CB4, therefore, so you faking, you flawed. Like, yeah, stuff like that. When I say back at it like crack addicts and bad traffic doing the spin. Fast Freddy, if you let me. Fast Freddy, Jason Lyric was doing the spin. Fast Freddy. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? What else I say? A lot of movie lines, but it was all nostalgia. The one with the Book of Eli, these Book of Eli's walking around with the shakes. That ain't a T-bone. That's a, you know what I mean? So yes, that's just play off of movies. I was having fun. I had fun. I had a lot of fun rapping these lines, but I just really had like a MC chip on my shoulder. So, anyways, I ain't trying to hold y'all too long. I know talking can get crazy, but I just wanted to, say, the album is out. Check it out. We will be doing the trash video soon. Hopefully this week. I wanted to have it done the day the album dropped, but I got a lot going on. I already addressed that earlier. I have a lot going on, and it just kind of didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. But yeah, man, I think it's a hard album, and I want you to know I still didn't cuss. And this was an album that was hard. I really, some stuff make you want to just cuss, like, just to kind of bring out the in it, but nah, I'm not going to do that. Like, I said I'm not cussing on music. I still cuss in real life. God ain't doing me yet. I still got some work to do. But, yeah, this is I think it's a dope album, man. I can't wait to hear how people feel about it. I've played it millions of times, making sure it was right before I turned it in. So, but yeah, man. So, shout out to everybody. I gave my shout outs on social media earlier. For everybody that contributed and worked on the project, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody that's listening. You know what I'm saying? It's not you, it's me. It's available now. Check it out. Let me know what y'all think. Peace.